In this video, we're going to show how to check and adjust garment fit using the Stitch Tension Release feature. Looking at the garment, the overall impression is that it's a bit too tight. We can use the tension and pressure maps to check. These pants need to be quite tight, so the yellow-colored areas in our maps are okay, but the orange-colored areas are too tight. We'll start by using the internal lines on the hips to measure the garment. In the context view, we can see the 2D and 3D measurements. There's about 10% difference between the values. For this type of fabric, it's a bit too much. We now go to the main toolbar to select the stitch tool, then click on the side seam. In the context view, we go to Release and drag the slider to 55%. Then we click Dress to see the result. After the simulation is finished, we again check the internal lines on the hips. In the context view, we can see that this time the 2D and 3D measurements are almost the same. This is not the correct fit for this type of fabric, so we need to try again. This time, after selecting the same side seam, we set the release value to 30%, then click Dress to see the result. After the simulation is finished, we again check the internal lines on the hips. In the context view, we can see that now there's about a 5% difference between the 2D and 3D measurements. This is what we want. We'll use the 3D measuring tape to measure the widest part of the gap. It's around 1.7 centimeters. We need to widen the pattern piece accordingly. To do this, we'll enable edit points and use the multi-move feature. We'll add pins at the calf to avoid widening the bottom part of the pants. Next, we'll edit the pattern at the widest part of the hips. In the context view, we'll add half of the 1.7 centimeter gap, meaning 0.85 centimeters, to both the front and the back pieces. Finally, we cancel the stitch release on the side seam, click Dress, and check the result. We can see in the tension and pressure maps that most of the orange color has disappeared and the fit is perfect. And that's how you use the Stitch Tension Release